really helped reduce the inflammation in my knee. I can now run again. Woohoo!
Gregory, you're muted.
Thank you, Ann. Now you can hear me. Hi, I'm Gregory Muscari. I'm going to be one of your hosts tonight talking about the power of the patch. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so we can get going. So here we are. Welcome to the power of the patch, which is a patented breakthrough in wearable light technology. Before we get started, I just want to kind of lay a foundation, see if we can agree on a couple foundational premises. Number one, certainly health is our greatest wealth. And if you've ever been at risk of losing it or know someone that you love and care for that has, you know what I'm talking about. And number two, let's face it, the symptoms of aging and disease, they are just not fun, whether it's, dental issues or brain fog, joint and mobility, fine lines and wrinkles, or maybe it's even worse. Maybe it's cardiovascular. The symptoms of aging and disease just are not fun. And I remember when I could work all day and party all night and get up the next day and do it again. Those were the days, my friend. And I did think they'd never end, but now I'm in my 70s and it's not quite the same as it was in my 20s, 30s, and 40s. So, we found out that the older you get, the faster you age and the slower you heal due to a natural decline in our body's number one repair system, that's stem cells. In fact, by age 30, they've decreased in half. And by age 60, only a small percentage remain active. And that's why a young lad falls down, skins his knee. 3 days later, the scab falls off. Grandma falls down, skins her knee, breaks her hip, and she's lucky if it ever heals. Well, I finally figured out what I want to be when I get older, and I bet you some of you can relate to this. I want to be younger. I want to slow down, that the hands of time, maybe even turn them back a little bit. And so I've got two personal questions for you. If you could change one thing in your health or in the health of someone you love and care for, what would it be? And number two, what impact would reducing or eliminating that issue have on you or their quality of life? Okay. And I just want to give a general disclaimer. Our products are not designed or intended to heal, treat, cure, or diagnose any disease. They do, however, bring our body into a more healthier state of homeostasis, and many times wonderful things then begin to happen. So if I can show you a safe and affordable way to change the trajectory of your aging, so you could look, feel, and live younger longer, would you be interested? And usually the resounding answer is yes. So we've got really good news because the X39 is a wearable light technology. It truly is a historic breakthrough in holistic wellness. It's a new, patented, and inexpensive wearable patch. It's affordable, it's safe, non-invasive, and it's drug-free. It's actually a unique form of phototherapy, a patented form of phototherapy, which uses very specific frequencies of light to increase and improve your health and wellness while supporting your body's natural innate ability to heal itself. So I'm going to play a short little video to just set the stage for us here this evening.
An empowered life has no expiration date. We're all created to do incredible things, like conquer summits, catch big waves, and live our passions. As time goes on, our bodies begin to show signs that things just aren't as they used to be. Our energy levels decline, sleep patterns shift, and recovery slows. But our bodies are masterpieces of design, holding the potential to bounce back better than ever. With X39, we achieved something remarkable in the field of wellness and regenerative science that others could not. By utilizing LifeWave's unique patented technology, X39 uses light to elevate GHKCU, a copper peptide known to support overall health and wellness. Unlike traditional light therapy, which requires external light sources, X39 uses the body's own infrared light to naturally increase vitality, enhancing the body's flow of natural energy. For improvements in strength, stamina, performance, and overall health and well-being, with the simplicity of an affordable, non-invasive, non-transdermal patch. As we age, levels of these life-enhancing elements, which are associated with wellness and longevity, begin to decline. LifeWave invested 10 years into stem cell research, which resulted in over 70 patents. X39 was born to bring to the public a product that could support wellness in an entirely new way, supporting the production of younger, healthier cells with wearable light technology. Becoming a powerhouse is easier than you think. Harness your body's natural potential to maintain youthful energy and vitality, because life comes at you fast, but it doesn't have to pass you by. Live long, live well, live young. Be the light with LifeWave X39. LifeWave.
Wonderful. Be the light with LiveWave X39. And let's talk about the power of the patch and how it works. It's based on the science of photobiomodulation. It's kind of a mouthful, but basically, LifeWave patches contain very specific combination of organic materials and nanocrystals. And when they are applied or near to your body, they're activated by the infrared light and heat emanating from our body. They then begin to emit very specific wavelengths of light that stimulate targeted and very beneficial biochemical responses in our body. And this is the scientific basis of our LifeWave phototherapy patches. This is our visionary founder and CEO, David Schmidt. And David is not only a brilliant scientist and researcher, he's a genius inventor and now has over 200 patents. He's been on the leading edge of phototherapy research and science for over 24 years, and he's already conducted over 90 clinical studies proving the efficacy of LifeWave phototherapy technology and our patches. And you know what? Because we're such a science-based company and David's such a science-focused visionary leader, there are many studies, more studies always in the works. So this is a short video just sharing a little bit about David Schmidt, give you some insights into our founder.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. There is more information there than most people would ever realize. I was 8 years old, and my parents wanted to take me to the workshop of Thomas Edison. On the drive back home, I said to my dad, I want to be an inventor. Light, as it turns out, is the primary control mechanism for everything else that happens in the body. What if we could have an external electromagnetic field that would essentially reset the stem cells that are already in our bodies and get them to function like younger, healthier cells? What if in the process we actually found out that in a book that was written thousands of years ago, that information already existed? God has left his fingerprint in natural design, and that blueprint shows up in nature. The mathematical codes are identical. The implications to this are absolutely extraordinary. What drives me is that there's this enormous sense of hope that we can create technology to generate clean energy, that we can have foods that aren't genetically modified, and we can meet all of the needs on the planet that we have to, and that we can heal people.
Wow. David Schmidt, our visionary founder and CEO. And David is the founder of LifeWave. And LifeWave is a 20-year-old leader in life science technologies. And back in 2000, this amazing life-enhancing technology was developed by David under a contract for U.S. Navy SEALs to increase their battle-ready strength, stamina, and performance without the use of drugs, stimulants, or caffeine. In 2004, the technology was so effective, David founded LifeWave to bring this amazing technology to the masses. In 2010, they set up international distribution, IT, and customer service in Ireland. And we now distribute to over 80 countries from our 16 global distribution centers. And I'm happy to tell you, in the fourth quarter of 2024, just last year, we set up our new global headquarters in Draper, Utah, just a stone's throw south of Salt Lake City. Also within our global headquarters now is a state-of-the-art space-age welcome center. It was actually designed by one of the set designers for Star Trek, because LifeWave really is a space-age technology company. Our focus for the last 15 years has been anti-aging and regenerative science, and we introduced to the world market in 2019 LifeWave's X39, which some are calling the holy grail of health, healing, and regeneration. It's actually a very historic and affordable breakthrough in wellness technology, and we're doing what big pharma and the multi-billion companies have not been able to do, and that is, when used in conjunction with proper nutrition and hydration, you need the raw materials in your body. X39 has been proven to activate a very specific copper peptide that supports and enhances stem cell activity while also altering gene expression towards a younger and more vibrant you. And yes, we have patents. Yes, we have clinical studies. Yes, we have field results proving that X39 is actually turning back our biological clock, helping people of all ages to look, feel, perform, and live younger, longer. And for me and many other people around the world, this is very exciting news. So let's just run through some of the benefits that people experience with the X39. And the first is energy. And certainly energy is the currency of life. And using X39 daily leads to an increase in cellular energy. And how about better sleep? Very commonly, people, when they try X39 for the first day, they say the next day, oh my God, I had one of the best nights sleep I can remember. And how about sports performance? Using X39 improves both sports performance as well as recovery after exercise. And we have people in their 50s and 60s saying they feel better than they were back in their 30s, 40s, and 30s and 40s. And now LifeWave patches are used by pro and amateur athletes around the world in almost every sport. And if you look carefully at some of your favorite athletes and Olympians, you see these auspicious little white patches on their body. That's the LifeWave technology that they're using. Now, pain relief is an amazing benefit. And most people notice a reduction in pain within minutes of application. And truly, the pain relieving benefits need to be experienced to be believed. And brain health. Many report improved memory, focus, and cognitive function. We have extensive testing proving it is actually enhancing your brain function. And wound healing. X39 actually supports the natural wound healing process and greatly accelerates it to the point that people are healing in sometimes 30, 40, 50% faster than they would normally without the use of X39. And another fun one's wrinkle reduction. And sadly, it takes a little longer than the pain reduction, okay? But we encourage people, when you start an X39, to take pictures of those fine lines and wrinkles, and it's very noticeable over an 8 to 12 week period. Also, along the same line is scar reduction. This is a phenomenon called remodeling, and use of X39 actually reduces the appearance of scars. So again, take your before and after pictures, and you can see pictures here of the amazing results people are having with the X39. And I want to bring your attention to the woman down in the center. After only 3 weeks, you got to see what happened, Karen. This next slide shows that she had some radiation treatment on June 6th. And you can see 4 days later, she wasn't looking too good. And, on the 17th of June, what's that, 13 days later, she's still, still you can see that she's had some work done. June 23rd, the scabs have pretty much gone away, but amazingly on June 30th, and you look at this is 24 days later, you can barely tell that, and in fact, you can't tell she ever had the therapy. This is, a testament to the effectiveness of X39. Now, another thing is hair growth. We've got lots of anecdotal reports from many users that are experiencing an increase in the quality, quantity, and speed of their hair growth. And some people are saying they're getting their old color back. So the bottom line is youth renewal. The result is a better, healthier, more vital you to enjoy time with your loved ones, with your family. It's not the number of candles on a cake. Age is a feeling, not a number. And with X39, you will feel younger longer. So this is what people are saying. I'm going to play just a few short little testimonials, the kind of results people are having with X39.
X39 has really changed my life. I'm not stuck at home in pain and in bed. I'm out here with my friends and enjoying my family.
Big thank you to Lifeway for helping me, helping my family, and helping the 100 people now in our team who are using Lifeway daily and their families. Big thank you. Love the products.
And I have energy through the roof.
I sleep better. I have so much more energy.
Throughout the day, I can focus better. I can concentrate in my work.
Our church worship service lasts 45 minutes. For the last 2 years, I've not been able to stand that long. 2.5 weeks into wearing the X39 patch, the pastor said, "You can now be seated." It dawned on me at that moment that, my goodness, I've been standing this whole time, didn't realize it.
After starting using the technology for approximately 2 weeks, my pain completely disappeared.
32 years of pain gone in 3 days.
I just love the products. They just help me to feel younger and younger year after year.
Thank God for X39.
My skin become younger, softer, firmer.
It's been really amazing. I love X39 because it really helped reduce the inflammation in my knee. I can now run again. Woohoo!
Right. So, in addition, I want to step us to the next phase here. It's not just what the users are saying, what people are saying, it's what doctors are saying. And I'm proud to tell you, we have hundreds of thousands of health practitioners all around the world that are using X39 in their practice with their patients, in their home with their family. And we're very blessed to have a couple of them with us here tonight. I'm going to introduce the first one is Anne Moreau. She's been a registered nurse, health and nutrition practitioner for over 40 years. She's one of the top leaders in LifeWave at the senior presidential level. And she's going to introduce another special guest, a doctor that we have with us. So, Anne, I'm going to stop my share and shut off my screen and turn it over to you.
Thank you, Gregory. Thank you so much. What a powerful presentation. Yes, it is my privilege. I am thrilled to bring here with us tonight Dr. Annabell Garcia Neuer. She's a pediatrician. She and I had a fabulous discussion this afternoon. Make sure you unmute, Annabell, so that we can have a conversation here. And I really want to dig in with you because we talked about your daughter, right? Your daughter who's, oftentimes people will say, well, at what age group? We heard Gregory talk tonight about the older population, but what about the younger population? What about them?
Well, hello, Anne, and hello, everyone. And I'm always happy to be here with all of you. And absolutely. So this is a technology that everyone can benefit from, young, middle, and even better, with fine age. I guess you age well like fine wine, but everybody benefits super well. And once I experienced the technology for myself and my husband and my parents, I said, why not my daughter? So I, as a pediatrician, because I'm always looking and thinking about what I can do to improve my patient's health. But now as a mom, I'm like, what can I do to improve my daughter's health? And so every parent wants to give their child all the advantages that they possibly can. And that's when LifeWave came into our lives. And I said, I'm going to use the technology for my daughter. And I've used it in several instances, and it has helped immensely.
Yeah, and she's starting school. And when you start school, you start getting exposed to a lot of other children. So what were you talking about today as far as protecting her?
Absolutely. So, yeah. So, she was pretty sheltered most of her early life because as a working mom, I didn't have the hours that a daycare could handle. So I needed to have private nanny care. And so she wasn't exposed to any children because she's our one and only in the household. So here she is. I did what I could. I let her go outside and play with dirt and germs and whatever have you to improve her immune system. But being with other children was a whole other ball game. And I said, why not use the X39 because it is known to support our immune health, especially by increasing our own natural production of glutathione, which is an antioxidant. And I said, why not? And I did. And I'm so grateful because I expected that many more phone calls from the school nurse. And of course, you do get a few here and there because I think she just wanted to come home. But most certainly, she was in school most of the school year, and I didn't have to worry because I was using it to enhance her health. Now, there is a sister patch, but we do highlight the X39, which is the X49. And when you use the X39 in conjunction with the X49, you form what's called a Faraday cage, which in layman's terms is think of a shield. It's a protection, a bubble around you. And so when you wear that, it protects you like a bubble against the electromagnetic frequencies. So she's exposed to everything with these smart boards and all these antennas all over the school, and that can impact your health. So I wanted to help her further. And so my daughter is shielded up. The second she leaves my home, she's protected while she's at school.
Wonderful. Now, with children, what do you recommend as far as, how long to wear it, that kind of stuff in
Now,
particular?
absolutely. So formally, there are no directions from the LifeWave company because we never formally tested them because they're not allowed to test them on children. So as a parent, as a pediatrician, we use our own discretion to figure out what is best for our child. We can always start with fewer hours. So you can start with something as simple as 3, 4, even 6 hours. And that way they can reap the benefits of the patch without using it for the full 12 hours. But meanwhile, while you're using it, watch them, see how they do, how they react. I can say for myself and my daughter, she does super well while wearing the technology. And sometimes when we've had certain instances, she asks for the patch. So I know that she knows that it helps her.
Well, my grandchildren are exactly the same way. They actually come over here and ask me, if they get hurt or, one of my grandkids right now is dealing with a condition. Sometimes you get bit by bugs and it causes issues. And it's been wonderful because he has no pain whatsoever. So the patches work very well with our children, don't they, Dr. Annabell?
Absolutely. And then you have that extra layer that you know that this is something natural. This is
Yeah.
something that is not going to harm them. This is something that is only beneficial to them. And so you can rest assured that you're doing the right thing by your children when you use the technology for them.
Beautiful. So we also talked about a story that you shared with me, some lady that you spoke to, I think today, right? Was it this morning? You want to share that with our community?
Absolutely. So I was introduced to someone who was experiencing some knee pain. She's in her mid 60s and she was open to trying the LifeWave technology. She started off the conversation by saying, I would like to learn more and I'm only going to give it a certain amount of time to do it. I said, okay. Well, it was longer than 1 month. She promised me she was going to do it for at least 6 months because we always say that recommendation of use the technology for at least 1 month for every decade you've been alive to start. So she in her 60s said, okay, I'm going to give it 6 months for her knee pain. Well, she started using the technology, and about a month in, she started to notice some improvements in her knee pain. She is on her feet a lot. She does bartending, and she's a busy lady. She has 2 jobs. And one time she even told me she was able to dance at a wedding and she didn't have any pain. So there was moments and lapses in her patch usage, and she noticed when she wasn't using the patch. So that was a testament to the fact that the patch technology is working, even though we sometimes don't see it or feel it right away. So recently she went on vacation and she contacted me today and said, I just got back from vacation. I didn't take my patches with me because I didn't think I needed them. Well, she said her knee was acting up and she wanted to talk to me further about the patch technology and to continue and give some advice. So that is a testament to the consistency of use. When you use it consistently, you get those results. When you don't use it consistently, you can't expect the results that you want. So most certainly, I was excited to hear not that she was experiencing pain, but that she realized that by staying on the technology, she was getting help.
Yeah, you said something today about, I'm going to use this. How long?
For life. I'm a lifer. I've heard this terminology used affectionately in our community, and I am also of the opinion that this is for life. You know, I am 48 years old, but I love to say I'm 29 plus 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 plus, add a plus for every year. So every time, every year that I'm on the life wave, I'm going to be subtracting those pluses, and eventually I will be age regress and I will look 29.
Well, we've had many people have their biological age done, and they're like 12 years younger, 9 years younger in their biological blood tests. So yeah, it's amazing. We do see those kind of results. But people will use the patches and they'll say, well, I only want to use it for a certain amount of time. And you don't have to stay on it if you don't want to. But let's talk a little bit about what happens when you don't stay on it. What happens to the human body?
Well, the beauty of when you're on it is you're improving that repair and regeneration capabilities that our body naturally has, but over time those capabilities start to wane. So here you are repairing and regenerating. All the while you're still living on this earth, exposed to all these different things like free radicals and all the things that can harm our body. But when you're off of it, that improvement, that repair and regeneration starts to slow down again. And so you start to decline again. And so the decay in our body that starts to happen, that's normal and natural, will start to not speed up, but it will recur. And so the purpose of the technology is to repair and regenerate what has gone wrong, but also to slow down that ability for anything to continue to go wrong. So here we are kind of helping ourselves with this patch technology, and it's amazing.
Well, we talk about lifespan, but this is a health span, right? To stay healthy and well until the end of our days. I mean, it's certainly my goal for sure. What else would you want to say? Like, how many hours should people wear them? Why should they remove them? What else is important with this technology?
Well, it's super important to know because the way the technology was studied, it was found that the 12-hour time frame was the most effective time frame to use it for. And the reason being is the patches are producing a signal. You know, they are signaling our body, they're stimulating our skin with low levels of our own light. And so if we overuse the patches, our body will start to ignore that signal or that stimulation. And so the effectiveness of the patch technology will wane, not because it's not effective, but because our body says, I don't need to listen to that signal anymore. It just keeps going on and on and on. So once I heard this analogy with Dr. Velvet saying, it's like a child, you keep talking to them and talking to them, tell them, clean up your toys, clean up your toys. They tune you out. So most certainly you want to use that 12-hour window to maintain the efficacy of the patches to reap the most benefits.
Beautiful. And hydration, is that important?
Yeah, so we are mostly water, as many of us know, but many of us are walking around chronically dehydrated. Coffee and tea is not hydration. We want clean water with minerals because the minerals help carry the water into the cells, not just plain water because the water will just be floating around in our system and not getting to what it's supposed to. And in order for cells to communicate effectively, they need to be well hydrated. And when they're well hydrated and they communicate, magic happens. And that's when we really see the results from the patches.
Well, Gregory talked about homeostasis, and we say coherence, right? The cells are going to talk to one another, is what you're absolutely talking about. Is there any last minute thing that you'd like to share before we hand this back over to Gregory?
I want to say that this is the most incredible innovation, and we are so blessed to be in this company and sharing the light with each other. And I am so grateful to all of you. And let's all keep sharing the light and sharing the wealth, because we are getting ourselves healthy. So we're sharing the health.
Thank you, Dr. Annabell. Continue being the light. You're amazing.
That was beautiful. Thank you, ladies. This is incredible. You know, I've been around the alternative health and wellness industry for decades, and I've never seen anything like this. And as you just heard from our two health professionals, hundreds and thousands of people around the world are experiencing the benefits of LifeWave products. And since we launched the X39, it's very exciting what has happened to LifeWave. And let me show you. We've actually experienced around 3,000% growth in the last 6 years since X39 was launched. And we're now the #1 growth company. Excuse me. Ooh, I almost sneezed. It'll probably come before we're done here. Sorry about that. We're now the #1 growth company in network marketing for 5 years in a row, and we're a new rising star in the $8 trillion wellness industry. This is our global headquarters. I invite you to consider stopping by, checking it out. I'm going to skip by this just the interest of time tonight. But what I'd like to do is talk about the LifeWave business opportunity, which is a great plan B in the gig economy. We need help getting the word out about our patented exclusive products. We have no competition. We have a simple, duplicatable success system. We have free websites, training, and support, a very low cost of entry, and the satisfaction of being rewarded for making a difference in people's lives and health. We have a very generous compensation plan that pays out 50% of the sales to all brand partners, you know, distributed through the network and organization. Very wonderful and generous compensation plan. And we have 3 ways to get started. You can start as a retail customer, which is a good way to just get on the product and give it a try. And a 1-month supply of X39 is only $149.95, like the cost of maybe a latte a day. But a latte is not going to give you the rejuvenation and health benefits you're going to get from the X39. Now, a better way to get started is becoming a preferred customer, because you get a 33% discount on the X39. You can pay only $99 for a month's supply, saving $50. All you need to do is subscribe to our monthly auto-ship program. There's no long-term commitment. You can stop at any time, next week, next month, maybe never, like many of us, because once you start experiencing the benefits of this product, you start feeling yourself growing younger year by year instead of older year by year. You might be on it the rest of your life, and a small price to pay for the benefit of the extended health and benefits that you're going to receive. Now, some people, and I do want to mention, there's a 90-day first order money back guarantee if you decide to become a customer and try the products. Now, the best way to get involved is to become a brand partner, and we get paid for sharing. We can earn a part-time or a full-time income. There's generous personal and team rewards for sharing the good news about LifeWave. We get paid weekly. We have 3 brand partner starter kits to choose from, and you have a 30-day money-back guarantee when you start as a brand partner. These are the 3 kits we have: the core, the advanced, and the premium. They all include the $25 starter fee, the enrollment fee, but you get progressive discounts with each of these packages. The prices actually get lower and lower below wholesale, so you're saving more and more. So, you know, you pick the pack that fits you and your budget and your business plans the best. So, in conclusion, I just want to play a short little 90-second video that kind of wrap it up and really says it all about LifeWave.
A life empowered is closer than you think. We're all looking for a better way. Reimagine what's next with a new sense of exuberance. Why not power on like you mean it? Or power off blissfully? A better sleep is a better awake. You've never moved like this before. With the energy nature intended. Imagine reprogramming the way you look at the speed of science. At longevity. At exhilaration. It's next level rejuvenation. Take control of your well-being from the inside out and outside in. The light within is ready to ignite. Be the light. LifeWave.
Be the light with LifeWave. I love that. So for my wife, Robin, and I have to say that LifeWave has been an absolute answer to a prayer. Every day we know we're going to wake up and hear more miracle stories, and every day we're enhancing and changing people's lives all around the world. And every day we and thousands of others all around the world just like us are enjoying the blessings of health, vitality, lifestyle, community, and financial freedom that LifeWave can provide. So I invite you to be the light with LifeWave and get back with the person who invited you here tonight to get your questions answered. Choose the X39 wholesale starter kit that fits you the best and just get started today. So thank you very much, everyone, for being here with us. And this officially ends our presentation this evening. Good night, everyone.